Good morning. So today I'm going to discuss on topic HIV/AIDS. Introduction. HIV/AIDS. I'm pretty sure everyone has heard about this disease. Millions of people are suffering from this incurable disease. It is caused by human immunodeficiency virus. Its advanced stage is known as AIDS. ये वायरस इम्यून सिस्टम को डिस्ट्रॉय कर देता है, जिस वजह से एक HIV पॉजिटिव पेशेंट की बॉडी अपने आप को कॉमन डिजीज़ से भी प्रोटेक्ट नहीं कर पाता। 1983 में एक फ्रेंच साइंटिस्ट ने कॉजेटिव एजेंट को आइसोलेट करके उसको नाम दिया लिम्फोडेनोपैथी एसोसिएटेड वायरस। उसी के एक साल बाद एक अमेरिकन साइंटिस्ट ने उसे अपनी डिस्कवरी बताकर उसको नाम दिया ह्यूमन टी सेल्स लिम्फोट्रॉफिक वायरस टाइप 3। जबकि दोनों साइंटिस्ट की डिस्कवरी सेम थी बट नाम सिर्फ अलग अलग थे। तो लास्ट में इंटरनेशनल सोसाइटी ऑफ द टैक्सोनॉमी ऑफ वायरस ने उसको एक कॉमन नाम दिया ग्लोबली, और वो था HIV यानी कि ह्यूमन डेफिशिएंसी वायरस। नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू डेफिनेशन, एड्स इज़ अ सेक्सुअली ट्रांसमिटेड इन्फेक्शन विच इज़ क्रॉनिक एंड लाइफ थ्रेटनिंग कंडीशन जो कि हमारे HIV वायरस से होता है, यानी कि ह्यूमन इम्यूनोडेफिशिएंसी वायरस से होता है। ये हमारी बॉडी की इम्यून सिस्टम को डिस्ट्रॉय करके हमारे बॉडी की बीमारियों से लड़ने की क्षमता को घटा देता है। नाउ मूविंग ऑन टू नेक्स्ट हेडिंग, etiology एंड रिस्क फैक्टर। People transmit HIV through body fluids. These body fluids include blood, semen, vaginal secretion, anal fluids, and breast milk. Some of the modes of transmission are sexual transmission. Unprotected sexual activities with an infected partner can lead to transmission of disease. Any kind of vaginal, anal, or oral intercourse can lead to transmitting of AIDS. Anal intercourse is much more risky as there is tearing of tissue, which ultimately makes a direct pathway for HIV to enter bloodstream. Now moving on to second point, that is contact with blood or blood products. AIDS is transmitted by contaminated blood. For example, sharing of shaving blades, needles by IV drug users, skin piercing needles, tattooing needles contaminated with blood having HIV. Now moving on to third point, perinatal transmission. From the name itself, we get to know that HIV gets transferred from mother to child through placenta. It can also get transferred while breastfeeding. Now, let's discuss about risk factors. Some of these are having unprotected sex, having other sexually transmitting disease such as herpes, gonorrhea, etc., sharing contaminated needles, syringes, or other injecting equipment, receiving unsafe injection, blood transfusion, tissue transplantation, and surgical procedures that involves unsterile incision. Experiencing accidental needle stick injury among health workers is also one of the causes. Now moving on to pathophysiology of HIV/AIDS. HIV is a RNA virus. It replicates from RNA to DNA. In first step, the virus enters the body through any route. नेक्स्ट स्टेप में क्या होता है, HIV टारगेट करता है सेल मेम्ब्रेन्स जिसमें CD4 पॉजिटिव रिसेप्टर्स हो। नेक्स्ट स्टेप में वायरस अपने आउटर प्रोटीन को डिस्ट्रॉय करके RNA को DNA में कन्वर्ट करता है इन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ एंजाइम रिवर्स ट्रांसक्रिप्टेज। फिर जो वायरल DNA है वो होस्ट के DNA के साथ कंबाइन होकर नॉर्मल डिवीजन के टाइम में मल्टीप्लाई होने लगता है। वायरस फिर कुछ समय तक लेटेंट स्टेज में होने के बाद एक्टिव हो जाता है, जो नए आरएनए प्रोड्यूस करता है, लीडिंग टू द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ वेरियंट्स। इन नेक्स्ट स्टेप, virus starts destroying helper T cells and CD4 positive cells. Ultimately, virus starts proliferating, leading to destruction of other immune cells all over the body. Now moving on to clinical manifestation. So there is acute infection and chronic infection in HIV/AIDS. In acute, there is flu-like symptoms like fever, sore throat, headache, malaise, nausea, muscle and joint pain. They last for mostly 1 to 2 weeks. In chronic infection, there are 3 stages. First stage, also known as asymptomatic phase or early chronic phase. In this phase, CD4 counts remain above 500 cells per microliter and viral load is low. fatigue, headache, low-grade fever, night sweat may be felt. Second stage, known as intermediate chronic infection. In this phase, viral load increases and CD4 count drops to 200 to 500 cells per microliter. Patient may suffer from weight loss, persistent fever, night sweat, fatigue, chronic diarrhea. In third stage, which is also known as late chronic infection, viral load increases and CD4 count drops below 200 cells per microliter. HIV वेस्टिंग सिंड्रोम भी देखा जाता है, जिसका मतलब है 10% जितना वेट लॉस, अनएक्सप्लेन्ड डायरिया फॉर मोर देन 1 मंथ एंड फीवर मोर देन 1 मंथ. पेशेंट को कोई और बीमारी होने की बहुत ज़्यादा चांसेस होती है इस थर्ड स्टेज में. Now moving on to the next heading, that is diagnostic evaluation. So the first diagnostic evaluation is ELISA or enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. इसमें एंटीबॉडीज़ को आइडेंटिफाई किया जाता है, ना कि वायरस को. ये बहुत ही सेंसिटिव टेस्ट है. सेकेंड इज़ वेस्टर्न ब्लॉट एंटीबॉडी टेस्टिंग. ये ज़्यादा रिलायबल है और कन्फर्मेटरी टेस्ट है HIV एड्स के लिए, बट इट इज़ वेरी एक्सपेंसिव एंड टाइम कंज्यूमिंग. Third way by which we can diagnose is HIV viral load test. Measures the actively replicating HIV inside the patient's body. The fourth way is CBC, to detect anemia, leukopenia, thrombocytopenia. Another method is CD4 cell count. With the progressing of disease, CD4 continuously gets destroyed, and this is used to monitor the disease progress. If the CD4 count is decreasing in a low rate, then it means that it is progressing in a very slow rate. HIV virus is progressing in a very slow rate. Now moving on to next heading, which is medical management. Medical management के कुछ aims रहते हैं, and they are decrease viral load, maintain or raise CD4 count, delay the occurrence of opportunistic infections. So the first treatment is antiretroviral treatment. Under this treatment, there are 4 different kinds of drug. So the first one is NRTIs or nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitor. As I've already explained in pathophysiology, enzyme reverse transcriptase helps viral RNA to develop into DNA. This step is prohibited by this drug. Example of this drug is zidovudine, lamivudine, and stavudine zerit. Second one is protease inhibitor. Prevents the enzyme protease from cutting HIV proteins into proper lengths needed to allow variable virions to assemble and bud out for further proliferation. Example are saquinavir, indinavir, crixivan, and nelfinavir. Third one is NNRTIs or non-nucleoside reverse transcriptase inhibitors. The function of NNRTIs is similar to NRTIs. It blocks the process of conversion of HIV RNA to HIV DNA. Examples are nevirapine NVP and delavidine rescriptor. Fourth one is nucleotide reverse transcriptase inhibitor. In this also inhibits the action of reverse transcriptase. Example is tenofovir. Fifth medical management is providing antidepressant therapy. Depression is common when someone is suffering from this disease. This therapy is utilized to uplift the mood of the patient. Sixth medical management is nutrition therapy. Severe weight loss is common in this disease condition. Thus, proper intake of food is must. Now moving on to complication. Pneumocystic pneumonia is the first complication. This pneumonia is caused by microorganism named pneumocystis. Is common in people with HIV. Second complication is candidiasis. In this condition, thick white coating on mouth, tongue, vagina, esophagus is observed. Tuberculosis or TB is the most common opportunistic infection associated with HIV. The fourth one is cryptococcal meningitis. It is also one of the complications related to HIV/AIDS caused by fungus found in soil. Some of the cancer common in HIV/AIDS are lymphoma or lymphatic cancer starts in WBCs later proliferating to all the lymphatic organs. Example of some lymphatic organ is thymus. Another cancer is Kaposi's sarcoma. It is also one of the cancer common in HIV/AIDS. It is tumor of blood vessel walls. It usually appears as pink, red or purple lesions in the skin and mouth. Some other complications of HIV/AIDS are wasting syndrome, that is weight loss, weakness and fever, and other complication is neurologic complication. Neurologic complication also takes place, like some of the neurological complications that HIV patients suffer through is confusion, forgetfulness, depression. Now moving on to prevention. हम सबको पता है कि HIV के लिए अभी तक कोई दवाई नहीं है और इसको पूरी तरह से ठीक नहीं किया जा सकता है, तो ऐसे हाल में प्रिवेंट करना ही एकमात्र ऑप्शन है. Some of the prevention are advise the patient to practice safe sexual practices. Another is reducing number of sexual partners to one. Needles, razor, toothbrushes must not be shared. Educate HIV patient to avoid unprotected sex. Another prevention is educate HIV positive patient to avoid donating blood, plasma, body organs or sperm. Use post exposure prophylaxis if you have been exposed to HIV. अगर किसी को लगता है कि वो HIV एक्सपोज हो चुका है या फिर किसी भी सुई या फिर किसी भी अनप्रोटेक्टेड सेक्स की वजह से, तो वो इसकी इस्तेमाल कर सकता है. इट इंक्लूड्स शॉर्ट कोर्स ऑफ HIV मेडिसिन्स. Prognosis. As you all know, HIV/AIDS is uncurable and it is very fatal and life-taking. However, it is very slow and takes time to develop into full-blown AIDS. It generally takes from 6 months to 15 years to develop AIDS from HIV. Developing AIDS in 6 months is although very rare and happens almost 0.8%. Nursing management. Under nursing diagnosis, the first one is risk for infection. Nursing intervention. So how we can avoid risk for infection? So some of these are the nursing interventions. Monitor for infection, fever, chills, cough, shortness of breath, oral pain, lesions on face, lips or perianal areas. Obtain cultures of wound drainage, urine, stool, sputum, blood. Monitor WBC's count and administer microbial therapy. Instruct patient to prevent infection. They can prevent infection by cleaning kitchen and bathroom surfaces with disinfectants, clean hands after exposure to body fluids, cook meat and egg thoroughly. Second nursing diagnosis is diarrhea, and the nursing intervention under diarrhea is assess bowel habits, assess diarrhea. What we have to assess is frequency, abnormal pain, cramping, volume of loose stool. Another nursing intervention is obtain stool culture, take measures to reduce hyperactivity of bowel, maintain fluid and food restrictions, avoid bowel irritants such as fatty or fried foods, raw vegetable and nuts, offer small frequent meals. Third nursing diagnosis is deficient knowledge related to HIV transmission. Nursing intervention under third diagnosis is instruct patient, family and friends about routes of transmission of HIV. Teach patients regarding safe sex practices, that is, for example, using condoms or having only single partner, etc. Do not use unsterile needles. HIV present females should consult physician prior to get pregnant. Fourth nursing diagnosis is social isolation related to stigma of disease. Nursing intervention under fourth diagnosis is assess patient's usual pattern of social interaction, observe behavior of patient regarding social isolation, assist the patient to identify support system like family, friends. promote social interaction between client, family, and significant ones, encourage participation in diversional activities such as reading, television, or handcraft. So lastly, I want to conclude by thanking respective ma'am for providing me this assignment. HIV is a very fatal and incurable disease. Once a person suffers from this disease, he or she is never going to get cured. So the best way to stay away from this disease is by taking preventive measures. Thank you for watching my video till the end. I hope it helped you. Thank you.